Okay, good evening all. Right. So today, we are into the third session, and today we are going to continue with your communication or the English subject because we want to finish it fast. And also, I hope you got the message that they have published because they had temporarily stopped the registration, FID registration for the year 2022. Now they have again opened the FID registration. Okay, so you can go to the site and you can see there's a uh, notice here. So where is that? Yeah, 2023 FID registration. So you can do the registration by going to the registration link. Those who have not registered yet, okay, so you have to go to the registration, and first you have to enter your email address. Then you will be getting an email to continue with the registration, and you can create your password. So then you can proceed with the registration. So the details are I explain you in the very first day, and those who did not attend the first session, you can get it from here. Okay, orientation YouTube video. So from there you can get the details if you are not very sure how to do the registration. And don't apply for the exams, only do the registration. Okay, only do the registration. And they have increased the registration fee. I think now it is 4,000 or something. Okay, so it is mentioned here. It is, you are paying for the university, not for us. Yeah, so the registration fee is now 4,000 rupees. You have to just pay that only. Don't pay any apply for exams yet. Okay, so until they say that, and they have specifically mentioned that they are going to have three round of e-test. So that means before next BIT intake, one round, round 1, round 2, round 3. So that is the idea. So we'll try to finish as much as possible, and possibly you can do all 3 subjects in the round 1 itself. Because if you fail a subject, you can reapply any number of times, right? So if you fail one subject, and if you apply all 3 subjects and say pass 2 subjects and fail 1 subject, so then you have 2 more attempts to apply for that subject and pass it. That is why they are having 3 rounds. Okay, so you don't have to do the pass subject again. If you fail a subject, you have 2 more chances here, but that you get only if you attempt all 3 in the first round. So if you attempt all 3 in the last round, so that means you have to wait until next year to do the next attempt. So then you will be attending the next BIT batch. Okay, so that is, so therefore it's very important that you attempt all 3 subjects in the first round, and happy part, you pass all 3 subjects, then you are done. Okay, right. So if you have any questions, post it to the WhatsApp group. If it is a common question, and if it is very specific to you, just post it to me. I can reply. Okay, right. So let's move on. So if you have any questions, you can keep asking. You can use the chat, or you can talk anytime, or you can use the WhatsApp group, or you can use the WhatsApp to send me a message. Okay, right. So let's move on to the our communication subject. Right. So last time we discussed about the nature of English language, and what are the challenges, what are the positive things, negative things when it comes to learning a language, and especially the positive and negative, or the pros and cons of learning English language. And you may have seen that there are a lot of positive things. It has very less number of characters, very little number of words compared to Sinhala and Tamil. The grammar is very simple, and you don't have gender-based variations also. The spoken English and written English is the same, and so on. Okay, so therefore it's very simple thing to learn English. Okay, learn and finish it also, the grammar side. Right, so today we are moving to the, remember, when you are learning a language, there are 2 things: the words, grammar. Okay, words, grammar, and of course how to use it in a proper context. So that is something you learn it by experience. Okay, right. So I told you grammar is small. So we can finish it. For words, you have to play that game, guessing game, which can be done because you are intelligent people, right? So this which can be done effectively. You can pick it gradually. But here you can't play games because when you are not very sure about your grammar, your confidence is really low. So that is a terrible issue. So therefore, we want to increase our confidence by make sure that you know grammar, right? You know grammar. Okay, right. So let's move on to the grammar, and we are going to finish it within possibly 3 days. Okay, so therefore we are going to do it faster, right? So last time also we discussed about the overview of the English grammar, right? So what are the grammar topics? First of all, you must know what you are supposed to know, right? So I told you that you must know it and you must know that you know it. So that is where you get the confidence, right? So some students, they know it, but they have never double checked by themselves whether they know it. So once you know that you know it, that is where your confidence is really high. Okay, right? So what are the topics you are supposed to know about the grammar? Of course, the part of sentence, right? Then the nouns, verbs, right? Tenses, voices, then auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. Then you have the adjectives, adverbs, okay? Then conjunctions, okay? So what else? That's it, right? Then maybe the reported speech and maybe a little bit of prepositions. Okay, so that's it, right? So part of the sentence, what are the part of the speech? That means what is a subject, what is object, and so on. So then grammar related to nouns, grammar related to verbs, tenses, voices, auxiliary verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Of course, I miss one thing, articles, conjunctions, right? Reported speech and prepositions. So if you know these things, now you must be able to take a piece of paper and say, out of 1 to 5, what is your confidence about topic 1? What is your confidence about topic 2, topic 3? If you are getting almost 5, so that means you are done. But you have to do it in a very honest manner. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to take one by one. And at the end of the third day, third session, you must have 100% confidence about each and every topic. That is the idea. And you finish learning grammar officially. Of course, informally you can learn until you die. But officially you have to stop learning and start practicing. Otherwise, you are going to keep learning forever without using it. Okay. So that is why we are doing it in English medium. Okay. Right. Because you have credit for the both maths and English. So therefore, your knowledge is more than enough. But my task is just convince you that you know it. And if there are small gaps, just fill it. Okay. Right. So let's start with sentences because we are going to finish at least up to this point today. Right. Up to this point. Okay. Or at least up to this point. Right. So then next day, somewhere here. Okay. So then we can finish everything in a one particular day. Okay. 3 day, maximum 4 days. Okay. Right. Say part of the speech or the sentence. Remember, when you are talking, you use sentences. Remember, the smallest thing is letter. Letter. That is A to Z. Right. So then you have words. That we discuss how to tackle the words and how to what is the strategy behind tackling words. Now, when you are learning, when you are studying grammar, forget about words, right? So that is how you do it. When you are concentrating grammar, forget about words because you know that you can't finish learning words. It's a huge. You have to survive with the existing words you know and play in that game of guessing. So okay. So when I say nouns, don't tell me this noun, that noun, right? Examples. Just concentrate on what are the grammar rules. Okay. Right. So first we have letters. Then we have the words. Okay. So the next level is sentence. sentence. So sentence gives you a full meaning. For example, eat is a word, cat is a word, but I saw you is a sentence, right? She told me is a sentence, right? So she told me is a sentence, okay? Right. So then, of course, there are small parts called phrases and clauses. Forget about it for the time being, right? Phrases, clauses, because we can connect phrases and clauses to make complicated or compound sentences. So let's not look at that for the time being, right? We are only interested in simple sentences like I saw you, he told me, right? She is playing, right? Something like that. Now, when it comes to sentence, you can identify we can identify these part of the sentence. So we say part of sentence or part of speech, and we can give them names so that we can build our grammar rules, or we have common terminology. Okay. So can someone tell me, how do you identify she? How do you identify told? How do you identify me? As a grammatical subject, how do you call she? Anyone? So you have to talk now. If you want to talk, you have to start talking. Okay. How do you call she grammatically? No one? So what is your confidence there? So what is the purpose of
Pronoun?
sorry?
Pronoun or subject?
Yeah, subject. I will take subject. Okay, subject. Yes. So, yeah, it's a pronoun also, but here I'm more interested about its subject. Then told. Anyone?
Verb.
It's a verb. It's a verb of the sentence. And me,
Object.
that is object. So those are the three parts. In this sentence, we have subject, verb, and object. Right? So this is not the simplest sentence, but if you go for a even small, simple sentence, you can make a sentence without using all three. Right? So because, for example, if I say he went, she sings. Now you have only subject and verb. So what is the smallest sentence? The pattern? Subject plus verb. Right? So subject plus verb. So for example, she ran, he sings. Subject, verb. So the next level is subject, verb, object. So everything is in your note. Okay. So if you want, you can refer to the note as well. Right. So this is the overview of English grammar, nouns, verbs, right? Right. So therefore, now you know that the simplest sentence has subject and verb. When you go to the next level, you have subject, verb, and object. Okay. So then we can gradually build it a little bit more compound sentences. Now remember, I told you, don't worry about making complicated sentences, because we all love to hear simple sentences, right? So the purpose of communication is your idea, you have to convey it to the other side, other party. So other party will like you if you communicate it in a simple manner, because then it's easier for this guy. No one like complicated things, right? No one. So everyone likes simple things. So therefore, don't try to make complicated sentences, because it is you are in trouble and that other guy is also in trouble. He will not like you. He will not like to talk to you, because you are talking with, whenever you talk, you are using very complicated sentences, right? So no one like it. So everyone likes simplicity. So therefore, don't try to make it unnecessarily complicated. If you can send it like she went or he told, just don't make it, don't add anything else. Okay. So, right. So that is the rule number one. Right. So simplicity is the best thing. Right. So we say, and also make it short. Right. We say short and sweet. So make it short, make it simple. Right. So then your life is not complicated. The others' lives are also not complicated. Right. Right. So therefore, we are very interested about these simple sentences, short sentences. Right. Subject plus verb, then subject plus verb plus object. Okay. Subject plus verb plus object. Right. So then you must know what is the meaning of subject, what is the meaning of verb, what is the meaning of object, because we need some common terminology to build our understanding, build our confidence. Okay. So after sometimes it's say I told you after 40 sessions, you are going to carry your confidence to communicate with anyone. Okay. Right. So what is mean by subject? Can anyone explain of course, different people can explain it differently. But what is your idea about when we say subject? Anyone?
Who does
Yes.
who does the
Yeah.
work? I
Yeah.
mean,
The
who does the
doer.
action work?
Yes, correct. So the person or thing that does the work, the actions are done by subject, right? Subject. In Sinhala we call it katru, right? Subject. So this is because it was told by her. So she did it, right? She did it, he did it, Nimal did it. So therefore subject means the doer, the person or thing that is doing the work, right? So then verb is, how do you explain what is mean by verb?
But the person or subject do.
No, the verb. How do you explain verb to someone else? In a very simple manner.
The action
Yes, that's
persons
it.
or
Yeah,
places.
yeah, that's it. So you can simply say verb is the action. Told, sings, cook, read. Right? So that is the action. So subject is the person or thing that is doing the task. That verb is the task or the basically the action itself. So then object. So what is mean by object? Singling up again karma. Object. What is mean by object? For example,
Who
she.
received it? Like,
Yes, who received it? That is fine. Right? Either who received it. For example, she told me. She, action is told, me is the receiver. So she is the person that is doing the work. Told is the action in past tense. Me is the receiver. So the object is receiver. Okay. So it can be a human or something like a living thing, or it can be a non-living thing. Right. So can you give me can you give me examples with subject verb object format, but the object is not a living thing, but non-living thing, physical thing or something. I need a very simple sentence.
she gave me a book.
Yes. So she gave me a book. Now, which one is the object? Is it me or book or both the objects?
Both are objects.
Both
And
are
there
objects.
are two types of objects.
Yeah. So you can see that there are two objects here. This is the receiver, therefore me is object, and this is what I received, right? Or that person received. So therefore this is also object. Now you can see that there, you can have multiple objects also. Multiple objects. So the object can be living thing, or object can be just a thing, or even it can be a concept, right? Of course, book is a physical thing, right? Can someone give me an example where the object is not a physical thing, not a living thing, it's a conceptual thing?
She feels ill.
She feels ill. Okay, yes, we can take it. She feels ill. Or she sings a song. Song is not a physical thing, right? Right. So then you can see that the object can be even conceptual, right? Can be living thing, non-living thing, like a book or car, or it can be even conceptual thing, right? So now we have three things, concepts to talk about: subject, verb, object. කර්තෘ ක්‍රියාව කර්මය. Okay, right. Of course, we can build it. We can add few adjectives, adverbs, and so on. Right? She ran fast. So then she subject ran verb fast adverb kriya visheshani. So likewise, we can extend it. But this is the starting point. Right? Subject, verb, object. Right. So now we are moving to our first topic actually, the grammar topic. I told you we are going to start with nouns, right? Nouns. So then someone will ask why are we interested in nouns? Can someone tell me why are we interested in nouns as a grammar topic? So if you have listened to the so far what we discussed, you can build the answer from here itself. Why are we interested in nouns? Why? So you can clearly see that. Okay, first tell me what is mean by noun. What is mean by noun? Of course, there's nothing called this is the perfect answer. So you can give slightly different answers. As long as it is reasonable, that is fine. What is mean by noun? Noun is a word. It's a word that identify a thing, a place, okay, or even it can be a concept and so on. So basically we use nouns to identify things or people or persons. Okay, so for example, he, noun. Nimal, noun. Tree, noun. Say Dehival, noun. Right? So people, things, places, and so on. Okay, right. So now what we are going to do is we are going to look at it in a very serious manner, in a very short period also. We are not going to discuss any bullshit, any irrelevant things. Only relevant, essential, important things only. Because I want you to show you that the English grammar is small. I don't want to show that English is complicated. Of course, I can't show it because it is not complicated. But if I am a bogus person, I can show it like that. Right? By doing some gimmicks. But reality, it is not complicated. It is very simple. So therefore, let's look at the reality as it is. Okay. Right. So you can see that noun can be denote or identify a person or animal, a thing, a place, and a noun can be even a concept. Right? Concept. So can someone give me example where it's a noun and it's a concept? It's not a person, not an animal, not a physical thing like tree, book or whatever, not a place, but it's just a concept. Anyone? Because you have learned English for 10, 12 years.
Exam.
Exam. Yes. So exam is not a person. Exam is not a physical thing that we can touch. Exam is not a place, but exam is a noun. Correct. Exam is a noun. Okay. Right. So can someone give me another example other than exam?
Wind.
Wind. Okay. So wind is little bit physical. Okay. So anyways, because you at least you can feel it, right? Something completely conceptual, and it must be a noun. So I can tell hundreds and hundreds of nouns which are concepts.
Holiday.
Yes, holiday is a noun. Okay, even day is a noun. Right? Day is a noun. Okay, for example, let's say few more examples. Course, it's a noun. Even something like kindness is a noun. Okay, so there are so many forms of nouns, which we will be revisiting that later. Okay, so now you know what is a noun is. It can be used to identify a person or animal, a thing, place, or even conceptual things. Okay, right. So that is what is mean by noun. Now our next question is, so our next task is, why are we interested in nouns? Of course, don't give me the answer that we can use it to identify things, places, and so on. Grammatical wise, grammar level, in grammar point of view, why are we interested in nouns? If you connect this to the discussion we had today previously. Now,
Without a noun, a sentence is incomplete.
yes, so if I put it into a different words, the subject is always a noun. Object is a noun, right? For example, she, it's a noun. Me, it's a noun. Of course, verb is not a noun, right? But you can see that subject is a noun, object is a noun. So therefore, yes, we are interested in nouns, because when we have sentences, we are having subjects, objects, sometimes subjects and verbs only, sometimes subjects, verbs, and objects, and so on. Sometimes two objects also, right? So therefore, yes, we are interested in nouns because our subject is always a noun, our object is a noun. So therefore, why aren't we interested? We are really interested about nouns. So first of all, you must know, why are we interested in this particular concept? Then what are the grammar rules related to nouns? Okay, then how to formulate nouns? What are the different type of nouns? So then we are done. So then we say we are done with nouns. That is how we are going to proceed. Okay, right. So now you know what is a noun is. Why are we interested in nouns? Because a subject is a noun, object is a noun. Okay, right. So the next thing is, we are going to look at, or we are going to categorize nouns. Okay, we are going to categorize. So that is what is meant by studying. Studying means we categorize it and see whether what are the relationship between those concepts, right? So that is what education is. That is what the studying is. Studying is active thing that you have to do. So we are just helping you. Studying is not you just passively listening to someone's preachers. Okay, studying is something you have to do, and you at the end of the study session you must feel like, yes, I got it, I'm now confident, right? If you are just passively listening to people, teachers, or whatever, you never get that confidence. Okay, right. So now we are going to categorize nouns, because one of the way of understanding a particular concept is break it, right? Categorize it and then see how they are related, right? So can someone come up with some sort of a classification about nouns? There are so many ways you can classify, but at least one or two that comes to your mind. So this type and that type and any special type of nouns, I don't mind.
Common nouns, proper nouns.
Yes, so that is one classification. Common noun versus proper nouns. And let's see whether that are there any grammar rules also, because our task is, while we are doing this discussion, we want to finish the grammar. So what is mean by common noun? Or can someone give me an example of a common noun? Common noun.
Place.
Can you repeat it?
Place.
Yeah, place. It's a common noun. I need one more example. Common noun.
Teacher.
Yes, teacher is a common noun. Now I need some example for proper nouns.
Somerset College.
Okay, Somerset College. It's a proper noun. So institute or education institute is a common noun. Oh, campus is a common noun, but Somerset College is a proper noun. Right. I need few more, something different proper nouns.
Meena.
Yeah, maybe yes, right? Meena or Nimallo, Kamallo, Prisfi or whatever, right? So they are proper nouns. The place is a common noun, whereas Colombo is a proper noun. Okay. So teacher is a common noun, whereas Pereira is a proper noun. Okay. So that is the first classification. Common noun denote a common thing. It's not very specific. Maybe a place, maybe a person, maybe type of a person, not a person, type of a person, type of a place, or any concept like town, and so on, wind. So those are common nouns. So proper nouns means very specific thing, right? Nimal, Nugegoda, right? Colombo, and so on. So there is one classification. And are there any grammar rules related to this classification? Because we are interested in grammar rules and we are going to finish one by one. So grammar means, sorry?
Pronouns.
No, first I need any grammar rule related to this classification.
We want to use capital letter when we write proper nouns.
Yes, so that is a grammar rule. So it's a rule. It's a rule, right? For example, you don't write Nugegoda like this. You write Nugegoda like this. You don't write Kamal or say Nimal like this. So Nimal is capital letter. But man is simple, right? Place is simple. Okay, teacher is simple. But you can see that proper nouns we have to capitalize. Of course, it is not when you're talking, when you're writing, but whether it's talking or writing, if there's a rule that you have to follow, it's a grammar. So now we have found our first grammar rule. That is, for proper nouns, we have to start with capital, whereas for common nouns, we can just use the simple letter unless it is the first word in the sentence. So that is, now we have found our first grammar rule. Okay. I told you there are only few grammar rules. Now we found our first grammar rule also. Right. So now let's look at some other classifications. So can someone come up with another classification of nouns other than common versus proper?
Pronoun.
Yes, pronouns is a special type of a noun. Pronouns. And why we are interested in pronouns? Because if someone asks what is the type of nouns that we mostly use, the simple answer is pronouns. Because we very often we use I, he, she, it, and so on. They, right? So the frequency of using pronouns is very high. So therefore, yes, we are really interested in pronouns. Okay. Right. So therefore, we are going to take it separately later. Let's keep it. Okay. Let's keep it. Right. So now I need another classification because we want to finish it. Any other classification comes to your mind other than common versus proper noun, and of course the special nouns called pronouns?
Singular and plural nouns.
Yes, singular nouns and plural nouns. So that is another classification. So man, singular, men, plural. Tree, singular, trees, plural. Right, singular versus plural. Plural. Right. So there are grammar rules related to singular and plural. So when to can someone tell me what are the grammar rules related to singular and plural? So rules means rules, something you have to abide by, or conventions. So when we use man, when you use men, are there any differences are there any different rules you have to follow in a sentence? When we use he, when we use they, are there any grammar rules related to that? So now if you know your grammar, the things must be coming to your mind. Yes, there's a rule like that.
In singular, we use if we use he, she, it, we use be verb with it is. If we use plural noun, we use are or were.
Yes. So that is one rule. Right. So in different tenses, for example, simple present tense, with singular we use is or was, whereas for plural we use are or were. Right. So that is one rule. Yes, correct. Any other grammar rule? Now we found the second grammar rule. So there's another grammar rule related to singular plural.
When we use action verbs, for the singular, we use SOES. We add SOES with action verb. Like that, for plural, we don't use SOES.
Right. Can you give me example?
Okay.
Just simple
He
sentence.
uses, he uses, they
Okay.
use.
He uses, they use. Yes, that is correct. So that is our third grammar rule. So I'm really happy that you are talking about those grammar rules rather than me talking. Okay. Now, how many grammar rules we have? 3. So proper nouns, we have to capitalize. Common nouns, we don't capitalize. And for singular, the helping be verb we use is, was. Whereas plural, we have to use are, were. Another one, it is he uses, whereas they use. Right? He uses, whereas they use. So it's a rule. Right? So you can't say they uses. He sings, they sing. Nimal sings, right? We sing. Okay? Right. So then when to use S, when not to use S. So you gave me a slight explanation, but it is not very perfect definition. Can someone improve it? Can you specifically say, this is where we use S, this is where we don't use S? So the rule is at the end of the verb, you suffix S. So when to suffix X, when not to suffix X? Or at least tell me when to suffix X, then all the other times we don't have to suffix X. But your answer must be somewhat very specific, so that I must not be able to come up with an example which contradict your definition. Anyone? Give it a try. I'm not expecting perfect answers, but try to make it a little bit more specific answer.
If it's a subject, third person,
If the subject is third person, we have to suffix S.
no, we don't want to use S. Sorry, sir.
Okay. Right. Think about it. Because part of the communication is, can you put it into words? Or first of all, you must have a clear idea. First of all, you must have a clear idea. If you are not very sure about the idea, of course, it is not your communication issue. You are not very sure about your concept. But sometimes you know the concept, maybe you don't know how to put it into words. So if both are correct, then you will be able to give me a very specific answer. Think about it. When are we suffixing? When are we suffixing S, or when do we suffix S to the verb? Because I can give you a very specific answer. Little bit longer, but very precisely I can explain. This is where you have to suffix S.
In simple present tense.
Okay, okay, so that is a good point. So the first point is in simple present tense. Okay, what else? That part is correct. Because we use it do it only in simple present tense, not simple past tense or present continuous or future or whatever. So that part is correct. In simple present tense.
Singular noun with singular nouns.
Okay, singular nouns. Is that
And also it has to be a simple present tense.
singular simple present tense? That's all.
That's all I can think.
Okay, so then I'm going to give you example which contradict this. Okay, right? Do you agree that I is a singular?
Yeah.
So then do we say I uses
No.
or I use?
It's
I sing
use.
or I sing. So therefore, just
I
because
sing.
it's so simple present tense, singular, that part is correct, but you have to be again filter it. Do you use you? Because you can be used as singular also. You. So do we say you
Without
uses?
I and you.
Yeah, so we can say simple present tense, singular, third person. Only third person, not first person. First person means I, we. Second person means you. Third person is he, they, Nimal, Kamal, and so on. So we have to use this S rule only when third person. So now our rule is correct. In simple present tense, singular nouns, which are third person singular nouns, we have to suffix S. Okay. So that is our rule number 3. So in simple present tense, singular third person, the verb must be suffixed with S. Okay, he uses, she cooks, she sings, Nimali reads. Okay, but she cooked, Nimali read. There you don't suffix S. So that means not for simple past tense also. Only for simple present tense, only for third person singular, we have to suffix S. The verb, we have to suffix S. So that is our rule number 3. Right. So now we have 3 grammar rules we have to discuss under nouns. Now, can you come up with some more classifications? Common versus proper, singular versus plural, pronouns we are going to take it separately. Any other classification? Because we are going to finish it.
Countable and uncountable nouns.
Yes, countable and uncountable. So there is another classification. Countable, uncountable. Right. So then, can someone give me example of a countable noun? Example of an uncountable noun.
For countable bottles,
Okay, just give me the singular one. That is okay. Bottle.
bottle.
Yeah, bottle. Then uncountable example.
Rice,
Yeah, rice. Right. What is mean by uncountable noun? Countable means we can count 1, 2, 3, 4. What is mean by uncountable now?
we can't count it each one like 1, 2,
Sure.
3.
Do you think that you can't count rice? I can count rice.
We can measure it, but it's hard to
Hard to
count.
It's hard to count individually.
Do you think that it's hard? If I give you a spoonful of rice, can you count it? How many rice? So, yeah. So the idea is either cannot count, okay, that is uncountable, or we don't care counting. It doesn't make sense, right? Or doesn't make sense, or we don't care. So then only it is uncountable, right? So rice, of course, we can count, but usually we don't care counting. But if you take something like water, right, oil, so then we can count also. Of course, if you go into the molecular level, we can count, but usually we can't count. We can measure, but we can't count. So what is the uncountable noun? A noun which either we cannot count or we don't care about counting. So then we say uncountable. But if we can count, or if it does make sense to count, then it's a countable noun. Okay. Right. So then do we have a grammar rule here? Countable versus uncountable. Do we have a grammar rule? There is a grammar rule. That is our fourth one. What is that grammar rule? So rule means rule. There's a specific. Sorry?
When we talk about countable nouns, we use or numbers.
Okay. Uncountable?
We use some.
Okay. Some, any.
Bit.
Okay. Right. So that is also a rule. Yes. So I will take that also as a rule. So that is when you work with countable, I can say one bottle, but you can't say one rice, one oil, unless it's a can of oil or whatever. Right? You don't say one water, or you don't say a water, but I can say a bottle. Right? So that is a rule. Yes, I accept. Right? But in uncountable, we don't use it. 1, 2, 3, etc. Yes, so that is a rule. So now I need another rule, because we want to finish it. Then we have to say, okay, we are done with nouns forever. Don't come and take me to study nouns, because we have done, we have finished, we are going to use it now. Right. So what is the next other rule? Other grammar rule related to countable versus uncountable. Anyone? So countable, you have plural. Bottle, bottles. But there's nothing called rices. There's nothing called oils. Right? No. But there's bottles. Man, men. Tree, trees. Book, books. Okay. Day, days. But there's nothing called oil, oils. Right? There's nothing called rice, rices, sugar, sugars. So therefore, it's a rule. For uncountable, you don't have a plural form. But countable nouns, there are two forms, the singular form and plural form. So therefore, this is related to this rule as well. Right? Singular, plural. So for countable only, we have the singular, plural forms. For uncountable, there's nothing called singular, plural, just one form. Okay? Right. So that means we have now discussed 5 grammar rules related to nouns. Right. Any other classification that you are interested about nouns? Because now we are almost done with nouns. Sorry?
Collective nouns.
Collective nouns.
Yes, there's another special type of nouns called collective nouns. Collective nouns. Right. So can someone give me example? Collective nouns means to a collection, to a group, we given a name and we consider it as one unit.
Team.
Team. So maybe the team has 12 players, but it's just one team. Right. Another example?
Society.
Family.
Family, society, yes. Okay. Army. Just one more.
Bunch.
Bunch, right? Bunch of grapes.
Crowd.
Sorry?
Crowd.
Yes, crowd. So those are collective nouns. Right? Collective nouns. So that is another classification or special type of a noun, collective nouns. So there's a small grammar rule there also. What is that? So when you take the collection as a collective noun, you can take it as a singular. Of course, the team may have 12 players, but we can just say it's a team. You can take that unit as a single unit. Okay. So that is also rule, because though it's multiple players are there, multiple members are there, family is a singular. Because then you have the families as plural also. Okay, so that is also rule. So usually singular means one, but here singular, but there are multiple inside that. But as a whole, we take it as singular. Right. So that is collective nouns. Right. Any other classification that you are interested or you have heard about nouns? Or else we can go into the pronouns and finish it. Okay, so I'm done now, because of course there are a few more classifications. If we want, we can go, but these are the main classifications: common versus proper, right? The singular versus plural, then countable versus uncountable, then special nouns called collective nouns and pronouns. Okay, and we have already identified 5 grammar rules. 5 grammar rules. Right? Before starting the session, if I have asked you, right? If I ask you, were you able to do it? Come up with those 5 rules, or right? So similarly, now next thing is you have to do it for the verbs. You had to identify what are the grammar rules related to verbs, but let's do it when we are doing the verbs. So now let's look at the pronouns, because I told you the most widely used nouns in English, that is pronouns. So therefore, this is super critical. Right? Pronouns. Right. So why are we interested in pronouns? Because it's widely used, the most widely used nouns. And why do we use pronouns? Because it's a common noun. So first I can say Nimal, but then I can just refer to Nimal as he, because it's easier. Right? Of course, you may be Ruvini, but I can just refer to you as you when I keep talking to you. Otherwise, I have to keep using Ruvini. Right? Rather than referring to bit, I can just refer to it as it. Right? It takes 3 years. It is a degree program, and so on. Okay. Right. So that is why pronouns are important. But now again, we are going to look at how to classify it. Then what are the grammar rules available, if any? Okay. So how do you classify pronouns? Of course, one classification is singular plural. Other than that,
Possessive
Uh,
pronoun,
possessive pronouns. Okay. Right. What else?
subject
intensive
and
pronoun,
object pronouns.
Can someone repeat it, because I heard 2 people talking.
Subject and object pronouns.
Okay. Subject form is there. Object form is there. Possessive form is there. Anything? Any other form?
reflexive pronoun, intensive pronoun,
Yeah, reflexive. Any other format? Subject, object, possessive, reflexive.
Indefinite
Personal.
pronouns.
Sorry?
Indefinite pronouns.
Indefinite pronouns. Can you give me example?
Anyone,
Anyone.
someone.
Okay. Yes, if you want, we can take that also. Right. So now, other than this classification, can you classify it in a different way? So this is one classification: subject, object, possessive, reflexive. There's another way you can classify it. What is that classification? Of course, other than singular plural. Completely different way you can look at the pronouns. Different classification. Then we can combine that classification and this classification. That is how you understand pronouns. What is that? There are 3. Three categories. First person, second person, third person. Okay. First person pronouns, second person pronouns, third person pronouns. So then we can feel this. And here again we can take singular plural. First person singular subject form. First person plural subject form. And again we can take, there's another classification. Of course, now we are going to look at the singular plural also. This is study. Study. Study means you think about it. That is what is the study, not pure passively reading things. Now, we are going to classify it into singular plural also, because I, we, he, they. Okay. So other than singular plural, there's another classification in pronouns. What is that? Because we don't want to miss anything. What is the other classification of pronouns? Singular plural, subject, object, possessive, reflexive, first person, second person, third person. What is the other classification? Gender. Right? Male, female. Usually English language, we don't care about the gender. Right? There are no specific grammar rules saying for male, you have to do this. For female, you have to do that. But when it comes to pronouns, there are different pronouns for male and female. Okay. For example, he, she. Right? He, male, she, female. So therefore, let's take that also. Right? So singular plural, male, female, first person, second person, third person. Then of course, subject form, object form, possessive form, and reflexive form. Right, now we can fill it. So what is the first person singular male subject form?
I.
I.
No, he.
First person is IV. So first person means we give high priority to us, right? Or me. So I am the first person. Or collectively we are the first person. So second person means in front of you. That means you. Third person means, you know what is my third party insurance, right? Third party. So that means not I and I or we, not someone in front of you, someone in the third party. Maybe he, she, it, they. That is how you understand it. First priority is for I and we. Second priority is someone in front of me, you. The third priority or the least priority is someone in the third party, not here. Right. So now, again, I'm asking the question, what is the first person singular male or masculine male subject form? I.
I.
Female, first person singular subject female.
It's also I.
It's also I. In first person plural male or female subject form.
We.
We. Again, you can see that for first person, there's no difference between male and female. It is always I, we. Whether you are male or female, you can just say I. Whether we have set of males, set of females, or mixture, we can just say we. So therefore, first person subject form, there's no difference between male and female. But yes, there's singular plural difference, I and we. Then what about objects? Singular and plural, because there's no difference between male, female. What is the object form for first person singular, first person plural?
Me.
I become me, we become
Us.
us. He told me, they gave us, right? They scolded us, they hit us, right? They chased us. ඒගොල්ලෝ අපිට එළෙව්වා. So us, plural us, singular me. He told me, he gave me, he asked me. Right, possessive form, අයිති අඟවන එක. Singular.
Mine.
My book, my pencil, my town. Plural,
My. No, our.
our. Just give me 1 minute because I lost my pen. I will close it and come back. So just wait, I'm waiting for the pen. Yes, so me, the singular me, the plural form is possessive, our school, our class, our country. Right, reflexive, singular and plural.
Myself.
Myself, singular,
Ourselves.
ourselves.
Self.
Yeah, ourselves, correct. Right. So myself, ourselves. Right. So now I need similarly second person. So you have to keep telling me. Someone in front of me. Singular,
You.
plural.
You.
You.
You singular, plural.
You.
Again you. So I can, when one person is in front of me, I can say I told you. When a lot of people are there, say class, I can still say I told you last time. Right? It's both singular and plural, we have the same subject. Object,
It's also you.
it's also you, right? You gave me, I gave you. So subject, you gave me, you told me. So object, I gave you, I told you. Right? Singular and plural, both you. Right? Possessive, singular and
You
plural,
were.
Your.
your. It's your task. It's your class. Both your. Reflexive, singular and plural.
Yourself. Yourself. Yourselves.
Yeah, yourself, yourselves. Plural, selves. Singular, self. Okay. Right. Third person. Subject. Singular.
They. He. She. It.
He, she, it. That is singular. Plural,
They.
they. Object form,
Them.
that is plural. Singular,
Him. Her.
what about it?
And it.
Yes. I told him, I gave her. Right? I saw it, I told them. Object. Passive, the passively receiving it. Object. He become him, she become her, and it become it. It is still it. And they become them. Right? So they gave me, I gave them. Right? Possessive form. He becomes
He.
his.
His.
She become
Her.
Her.
again her. It,
It's.
its. Okay, it's. They,
Their.
they are.
There.
THEIR, they are. Right. Reflexive. He,
Herself.
she, herself. He,
Yeah. Himself.
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 Sorry.
It,
Itself.
Itself.
itself. They,
Theirs.
Themselves.
themselves. Okay, so you must be 100% sure. Now, what you are supposed to do? Maybe tomorrow morning, take a piece of paper, try to write down what I am writing right now. You discuss, you talk to yourself. Right now, I am going to look at the overview of the grammar. What are the parts of the grammar? Write it. Then I am going to look at the part of the speech. So there's a sentence, very simple sentence, subject plus verb, then subject plus verb plus object. So then you take your nouns. What is a noun? Why are we interested in nouns? What are the different classifications? What are the grammar rules? Can I write down the 5 grammar rules or 6 grammar rules? So that is what is meant by study. Studying is not taking a book and reading it. No, that is passive thing. Education is active thing. You are the active person. Others are just helping you, facilitating you. In Sri Lanka, the teachers are active, the students are passive. So therefore, that is why Sri Lanka is a bankrupt country. Sri Lanka is a poor country. So we are relying on others. We are begging because of our education system. Right? So we are beggars. We are miserable. So we are crooks. We are not paying our debts also now. We are crooks. Kalakandi, takkadi, the main reason is our education system. So we have teacher-centric education, whereas the developed countries, they have student-centric. Students are active. Teachers are just helping, facilitating. Right? So you have to do this. Okay. So that is why I'm taking the answers from you guys. You are the active. You must be active. I'm just helping you, organizing things. Okay. Right. So now we have the different formats of pronouns. Subject, object, possessive and reflexive, first person, second person and third person, and you must be able to give examples. First person subject, object I told you, object he told me, the possessive it's my, okay, it's my car, it's my vehicle, it's my book, then the reflexive. Okay. So can you give me a sentence, very simple sentence with a reflexive pronoun?
I myself pour a tea.
Yes, I myself, let's say I myself did it. Mamamai eka kare. So I myself, so did you do your homework? Yes, I myself did it. I didn't get any help. Right? Right. So similarly, I saw it was done. You have to do it by yourselves. Right? You have to do your assignment by yourself. They themselves have to get out of the trouble. No one is going to help them. Right? So reflexive form. Possessive form. Right? It's their duty. It's your duty. It's her problem. Likewise, come up with some examples. Talk to yourself. Right? Right. Now we are done with pronouns. Right? Now we are done with pronouns because we are going to finish nouns forever. Right. So now we are going to do the final part in the nouns. That is how to formulate plural. Are there any rules? And that is our 6th set of rules. How to formulate plural. Right? So dog become dogs. Right? So what are the rules? Now you have to talk. What is the general rule of formulating a plural from a noun? General rule. That means if there are no specific case, we have to use this general rule. What is the general rule?
Adding S.
Yes, suffixing S. Right? Tree, trees. Dog, dogs. Pen, pens. So the general rule is suffix. If you are adding to the end, you use the word suffix. If you are adding it to the beginning, you use the prefix. Right? Condition. Do, undo. There un is prefix. Okay, so this is a suffix. Right. So general rule is suffix s. Right. So that is the general rule. Now I need the specific rules. Anyone? What are the specific rules? Just I need one by one. There are about 4 or 5 specific rules where you don't suffix s, you do something else. But these are rules, grammar. Anyone quickly?
Nouns that end with S or X, we suffix ES.
SOX,
S, X,
X,
Z,
Z,
CH.
CH,
CH. So then
and SH.
SH. So there you suffix ES rather than suffix S. Right. Can you give me example for each category? Anyone? Or at
So
least
also, I think they
all
wanted
also.
yes.
Right. So can you give me example for each category? S.
Book, books.
Dress.
Sorry. Bus, buses.
Yeah, bus, buses, dress, dresses. Okay, bus, buses. Because it ends with S, you suffix ES. Right. I need one more example other than bus and dress.
Guess.
Guess. Okay. Yes. Guess. Guesses. Okay. Something very simple. So now you have attended to a what? Class. Classes. Okay. Bus. Buses. Class. Classes. So those are ending with S. Right. So now I need a noun which is ending with X, which we have to suffix ES.
Box.
Box, boxes. Correct.
X.
Sorry?
X.
X.
Yeah. X, axes. Right. So now I need something ending with Z. Therefore, we have to add suffix ES.
Quiz.
Quiz, quizzes. Correct. Now I need something ending with CH. And therefore, we have to suffix ES.
Watch.
Watch, watchers. I need one more.
Catch.
Catch. Okay, we can catch. We can take catch as a noun also rather than verb. Catch, catchers. Okay. I need something ending with SH. And it's plural form.
Brush.
Brush, brushes. Right. I need one more.
Flash.
Okay. Flash, flashes. Okay. Bush, bushers. Right. Finally, ending with O.
Shoe.
Sorry? Shoe is not ending with O.
Radio.
Radio, plural.
Radio. Oh my
Is
God.
it yes?
Sorry. It's S.
Yes.
Echo.
Echo.
Yeah. Echo.
Go. Yes, I'm not very sure about it. I think maybe yes. Okay. Now you can see that there's a confusion here. Do we always suffix es or sometimes? When we are
Sometimes.
sometimes. Right. So let me close this and come back. Because I'm having some issues when you're writing. Right. So now you can see there's a small thing here. Let me get the pen again. Now, when it comes to S X, Z, CH, XH, we always suffix S. Right? We always suffix ES. But when it comes to O, it's not always, only sometimes. Right? Only sometimes we suffix suffix es. So therefore, when you are adding O, considering O, make sure it is sometimes. What is that sometimes? First tell me, what is the reason for suffixing es here? What is the reason? Because if you know the reason, it's easier for you to remember. Because you have understood it. The reason also. Why do English people suffix es for nouns ending s, x, z, ch, and sh? Why? So the very important term, why? That will cement your understanding. When you know why, you are 100% sure about what you are talking. Why do English people suffix es for these nouns ending s, x, z, ch, and sh? Anyone? Yeah. So otherwise, it's difficult to pronounce. For example, if you say bus and if you just suffix s, right? It's difficult to pronounce, right? Bus, actually difficult to differentiate, right? Because already a sound is there. When you add another s, it's difficult to differentiate whether it's a singular word or plural word, plural noun, right? Right? Box. So if you just add x here, it's again box. So think about it. So it's a very simple reason. And these English people use common sense. So they have more common sense than us. So that is why Newton is English person. Right? Rutherford, who came up with Thomson, electron, protons, Newton's laws. Right? So the first programmer, Ada, the father of computing. Right? So they are all Englishmen. English or someone closer to that, Scotland, France, German. So they have more common sense than us. So therefore, it's a common sense. If the word ends with a sound or something closer to a sound, you suffix es, because then it's easier. Box, boxers, right? Church, churches, quiz, quizzers. But you can see that this is not making sense because this is not a sound or something closer to a sound. So that is why sometimes you suffix s, sometimes only you suffix es. So what is that sometime? What is that sometime? So that sometime is for all words we suffix es, because the old English people have done that. But now they have found that it doesn't make sense. Right? So therefore, tomato, tomatoes, potato, potatoes. These words had been there for years. But new words like radio, you know that radio was invented some about 100, 200 years ago. So therefore, it's a new word. So therefore, we just use radios, because this is not making much sense. Let's keep the all words as it is, but for new words, let's use s. So that is their thinking. Piano, pianos, even kangaroo, because they found kangaroos when they found Australia. So they just suffix s. But all words, yes, we suffix es, because they have been doing that for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, right. So right now we have the second rule, general rule, second rule. Right. Any other rules to make plural?
So there are some words we don't we use when we use it as a plural also.
Can you give me example?
Fish, deer.
Yes. Another one? Fish, right? Fish, deer. So they are both singular and plural. We use the same word. Right? Same word. Right. So I will take it as a third rule. So any other rules? Where we have plural, And this is how you make the plural. This is the rule. I need that kind of
Now,
letter. Yes.
nouns that end with y, we remove y and add suffix ies.
Always or sometimes. So now you have to think extra.
Sometimes.
What is that sometime? You have to explain it.
Oh God.
So you should be able to explain it precisely. This is when this kind of a situation we make y into I and es. Otherwise, we do this. Anyone? So you learn English for 10, 12 years. So this is what you should have learned in the schools or tuitions or whatever. What is that sometimes rule? For example, boy, boys. But baby, babies. What is the rule? Why we make this I, but here you don't make it I.
Vowel. Is it vowel?
Yes. If the Y, before the Y, if it is a vowel sound like key, keys, boy, boys. But if it is a consonant sound like B, other than A, E, I, O, U related sounds. So baby, your Y becomes I and suffix ES. But if it is a vowel sound, right? So can you give me one more examples, this category, 1 or 2 examples where you just suffix S? That means there must be a vowel before Y.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. It's a verb, right?
Toy.
Yeah, toy, toys. Now you know that's definitely toy is toys because O is a vowel sound. So when you know the rule, you are 100% sure. So 100% sure means that is your confidence. And I need one more under this category.
Donkey.
Donkey is K vowel because this category. This category where you just suffix S.
Monkey.
Monkey, is it vowel? You just suffix S. I need this category. Now I am also thinking. Don't we have any other noun?
Tray.
Tray. Tray. Tray. Yes, correct. At least. Tray. Trace. Okay, trace. Yes, correct. Right. So now I need few examples. This category where it's a consonant sound. So therefore we just make it I. Other than baby.
Story.
Yes, story. R. Stories. I need one more.
Sky.
Sky. Usually we don't say skies, but anyway, as theory at least, yes. Therefore, I need one more because this is usually we don't use this much. Just
Body.
one sky. Okay. Yes, anyone?
Body.
Sorry?
Body.
Yeah, bodies.
Body.
Yeah, bodies. Right. So now we have 4 rules. Any other rules that you are aware of to make plural? Yes, F, V, S, right. So if you are ending with F or FE, we can make or we can get rid of FOFP and suffix VES, right? Knife, knives, right? Knife, knives. I need one more example other than this, where we make it VES.
Leaves.
Yeah, so yeah, monkey, monkeys. Yes.
Leaves.
Leaves, LEAF, leaves. Yes, correct. Yeah, sorry for that. Yes, monkey is correct answer for the previous one. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah, leaf, leaves. Yes, right. So I need one more example here.
Thief, thieves.
Yeah, thief. THIEF, thief, right? Yes, thieves. Horu. Right, but is it always or sometimes? Is it always or sometimes? Actually, most of the time. Most of the time. But there are situations where we don't make it VES, rather just be suffix S. Can you give me an example? For example, if you take chef, you don't say chefs, you just say chefs. Okay, so what is the idea behind it? If this doesn't make, if this looks okay, if this sounds okay, usually we just suffix S. But if it doesn't make convenient, then only we make it VES, or when we means the English people. Okay, so therefore for simple words, if it doesn't make much sense to make VES, so if this is okay, they just add suffixes, but those are very rare. Most of the time what you find is knife, knives, leaf, leaves, thief, thieves, wife, wives, and so on. But something like cliff, because it doesn't make much sense to make it VES, so you just say cliffs. Okay, we just say cliffs. Okay, but wolf, wolves. Right, any other rule? Any other rule? 6.
Words that end with man or woman. We use men and women.
Yeah, so we will just make it another category. We call them irregular nouns. Irregular nouns, irregular plurals. So one example is man, men, woman, women. Any other examples under this? Plenty of examples are there.
Child, children.
Yeah, child, children. One more.
Person and people.
Person, people. I need one more. Tooth, teeth, foot, feet, right? So they are all irregular. Right. Any other rule? Yes. Any other rule other than these 6 rules? Any other rules? No? Yes. So these are the rules that comes to my mind also. Just double check the note whether there's another rule, but I think that's all. Okay. Right. So now we are done with nouns. Now can you come up with any grammar rule related to nouns? දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ හොයලා බලන්න nouns ගැන තව මොනවාරි grammar rules තියෙනවද කියලා. පුළුවන් නම් හොයාගන්න. පුළුවන් නම් හොයාගන්න. තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. බොහොම කලාතුරකින් use වෙන rule එකක්. හැබැයි මට නම් මතකෙට එන්නේ ඔච්චර තමයි. Right. So now we are done with nouns, and of course if you get it, if any other rules come to your mind, just put it into the WhatsApp chat, or you can just talk. Right. So now we are going to take a break. After the break, we are done with the first topic. Right. So the major topic, nouns. Now we are done with sentences, nouns. Now after the break, we will be moving to verbs, right? So now it's 8:30. We'll be starting at 8:50. And we will finish verbs, and possibly we can start tenses. Okay. So I told you within 3 or 4 days we are going to finish it. Okay. Right. So we'll be starting at 8:50. Okay, so let's continue. Right, so now we have done with nouns. So done means done. Okay, so you must be very sure that, okay, so I know may not be all the grammar rules, but the important, widely used, all the grammar rules I know. That is how you build your confidence. So then if you know something, and if you know that you know it, there's no reason why you must be worried about it, right? So your confidence must be very high. Right, so now let's move on to the verbs. Right, so let's move on to the verbs. So similarly, we are going to look at what are the grammar, what is a verb, what are the classifications, and are there any grammar rules related to verbs? Okay, and the good thing is verbs, we have very little number of grammar rules. Okay, verbs. So first of all, you must know what is a verb. So what is a verb? Verb is an action, right? Verb is an action like run, do, eat, sing, and something like that. And verbs are very important because even a simpler sentence, you have a verb, right? Subject and verb, then subject, verb, and objects. So verb is always there when it comes to a sentence. Okay, right. So now let's see how can we create a verb. Okay, I forget one thing about nouns, right? So one thing about nouns, so that is how to formulate nouns. So let's do that part, otherwise I will forget it. Okay, so because this is also interesting topic, how to form nouns. Of course, there are some nouns which are original nouns like tree, boy, book, and so on. Okay, so they exist as a nouns. Original form is the noun. But other than that, we can form nouns from other words. Now, can someone tell me how can we create noun from some other words? Or what is the word or type of word, and how do you formulate it? Or maybe just example. Anyone? Because I want to get it from you guys, because you are supposed to know these things by now.
Water, watering, water.
Which one is your original noun? Water.
Yeah.
Okay. The other noun? Watering. Okay, so that answer is correct. That answer is correct. But it's a little bit confusing because watering, yeah. So anyway, it's correct. Yes. So can you give me another example for that same category? Same category, like just like watering.
Post,
Sorry.
post. It's a noun and also a verb.
No, what I need is now earlier, similar to the early example. So I will give few examples for the previous one, right? For example, swim is a verb. Swimming is a noun. Or you can use it as a noun. Can someone give me example where swimming is used as a noun? Smoke, smoking. Read, reading. I need example where swimming, reading, smoking is used as a noun.
So,
His favorite hobby is swimming.
Yes, his favorite hobby is swimming. There, swimming is the object. Swimming is good for health. Then the subject. Swimming is good for health. Right? Smoking is prohibited. Dumbi matahana. You can see that this is a noun. So how do you make these nouns? From verbs. Its ing form can be used for as a noun. So that is one way of formulating nouns from a verb. Is that the
So
only way?
reading book.
Yeah, reading. Reading is a good habit and so on. Right. So that is one type of formulating. From verb, the ing form can be used as a noun. So can you give me another type of a, not same category, different way of formulating a noun?
Add in MENT.
Give me example.
Agree, agreement.
Agree, agreement. Yes. So agree is a verb. Agreement is a noun. Right. So our agreement is cancelled. So then it's a noun. So right. Come up with another, not same type, different type. Not always from verb. Maybe something else you can create a noun.
Mm,
Can someone give me example where you formulate a noun from an adjective? So you have adjective, from that you create a noun. Anyone? Example?
Reading book.
No, reading is not adjective. First you have to tell me the adjective, then you have to tell me what is the noun that you formulate from that adjective. He is a kind person. Kind, adjective. Can you use kind as a, oh, can you create a noun from kind? What is the noun that you create from kind?
kindly.
No.
No.
Kindly is adverb.
Kindness.
Kindness. Can you put it into a sentence as a noun?
Kindness is the best thing in the world.
Okay, maybe yes. So kindness is the best thing in the world. I appreciate your kindness. Right? So that is noun as a subject, as object. So you can see that from adjectives you can create nouns. From verbs we can create nouns by adding suffixing ing, like suffixing like agree, agreement. So there are, so from verbs you can create nouns. From adjectives you can create nouns as well. Okay. So likewise, so there are different ways you can create nouns as well. Okay. So that is also, keep it in mind. Otherwise you think that, otherwise you will think that the nouns are just the original nouns only. No, we can formulate nouns from verbs and adjectives as well. Okay. Right. So now let's move on to the kindness. Now let's move on to the verbs. Okay. So verb is an action, doing. Okay. Right. So when it comes to verbs, do you see any classification or any grammar rules related to verbs? Because we want to do, if there are any grammar rules or if there are any classifications, we want to do it. We would discuss it and finish it. So my question is, what are the, do you learn any grammar related things related to verbs in your school or whatever? Yes.
We can classify to two parts.
Okay. What are those?
Static verbs and dynamic verbs.
What is the first one?
Stative verbs.
Can you pronounce it? Spelling?
STATIVE.
STA.
TIVE.
Okay. Can you give me example?
It's something that doesn't show a action, physical action, like wish, think, or hate, love,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay. Dynamic.
It's normal action that show
Like
in
read or run.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I have not heard about that much. Anyway, it looks like okay. Right? Maybe. Okay. So can someone come up with another classification? Or if not classification, any grammar rule?
Regular, irregular verbs.
Can you give me example of a regular verb and irregular verb? I need example for regular, irregular.
Regular, give. Irregular, gave.
Regular
Oh,
give?
sorry.
No.
Sorry, sir.
No.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
That's opposite.
So
In
give me
regular verbs, we can add ed or d to end of the word to make it past tense
make it
or
past tense. Okay.
like cry, cried.
Cry, cried.
Yeah.
Okay. Irregular. Example.
Become, became, become.
Right. Become, became, become.
Yeah.
Right. So what are the
Was.
okay? What are these three forms? How do you call this one? This one, this one. Eat, ate, eaten. Drink, drank, drunk. Cook, cooked, cooked. Right. So go, went, gone. Right. Eat, ate, eaten. Cook, cooked, cooked. My question is, how do you call this form? How do you call this form? Or how do you call this form? Or what are the usages of this form?
Infinitive verb.
Which one is infinitive?
Go.
Go.
Base form of the verb also.
Then went.
Past
Go is
form of the.
So this is past form.
Yeah.
Then third one,
Past participle.
past participle. Right. I will be using the word for this column. I will say simple form.
okay.
Right. Simple form or the base form, past form, or past participle form. Okay. Right. So now you have to tell me when do we use the simple or the base form? Okay, I will make it easier for you. When do we use the past form? Now you have to give me a full answer. Don't rush. Right? Try to give me a more specific answer. So now you have to look at me as a competitor or challenger. So your answer, when you are giving an answer, you must make sure that I can't challenge you. So I have to accept. So that must be your attitude. Of course, you may not be able to give me the perfect answer, but try to make it perfect. Okay, right. So my question is, when do we use past form of a verb?
When we talk about the action that finished.
Okay, action that finish. Can you put it into a little bit more technical words, like rather than actions that we finish?
To talk about something that already happened in the past.
Okay. Right. So then can someone tell me, when do we use this third form, past participle? This is super critical subtopic. So if you are not very sure about this, obviously your confidence is not going to be that good. Or maybe you are just guessing things without much confidence about that. So what we need is
And-
not just, yeah. What is the use of past participle?
An action in the past or present, it has happened, but still we have the effect on it. Like,
Okay, so can you put it into a technical terms? So rather than explaining it, you can use very simple way. In a very simple way, you should be able to explain it. If you are using that technique, using those technical words. So I will make it a little bit easier. Try to think in terms of tensors and voices. And try to tell me, when do we use past tense, past form, when do we use past participle? So I just make your life easier.
when we use have, has, had, we use participle.
Past participle. That is the only
Yeah.
place.
No, when we use be also, we use past participle.
Be. Can you give me an
Be.
example?
We can be a good person. Sorry, sir.
No, that
We
is
can.
not.
It can be removed.
It can be removed. That is past participle. Yes. So your example is correct. Now, can you put it into a general format and tell me? Right. I will take the first one. So you said when you have, has, have, had. So I will put it into a simple. I will just put that answer into a technical format. That is perfect tenses. There are 3 perfect tenses: present perfect, future perfect, past perfect. In all these 3 perfect tenses, we use past participle. Right? Perfect tenses. 3 perfect tenses, active voice. We use past participle. Right, so that is the first usage. For active voice, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, we always use past participle. Right, so that is a sort of a very precise answer. Right, so now the second usage. Now you told me that be verbs, right? It can be done and so on. Now can you put it into a general term like this? Just like I explained this one. Your answer was after, has, have, had. I just put it into a word. In active voice, in 3 perfect tenses, we use past participle. So something like that. The second use of past participle. Actually, only there are two usages.
If it is a passive voice,
Passive voice, which tenses?
present, perfect. Sorry, present, past, future. In
Let
all
me-
3 sentences, if it is a passive, we use past participle.
How many tenses are there in English?
I think it's 16.
16.
16 or 12.
Now can you
Sorry.
talk to someone thinking that it is 12 or 16, or you must know exactly whether it's 12 or 16, right? So otherwise your confidence is not good because you are not very sure, right?
Yeah.
So you must have straightforward answer saying it is 12, it is 10, it is 16. So can someone tell me how many tenses are there in English? Because
It's
tense is our
12.
next topic. 12. So straightforward you must tell there are 12 tenses in English. Okay. So my question is, in passive voice, how many tenses are there? Active voice, 12 tenses. Passive voice? Is it 12 or something else? So this is what you are supposed to learn in your schools. Either you have missed it or your teachers have not done a proper job. Unfortunately, whether they get the salary. I know that they teach all the bullshit other than grammar. All the bullshit
8.
about English. How many tenses are there for passive voice?
3.
No.
8.
8. Right? So there are 8 passive voice tenses. Sorry, there are 8 tenses in passive voice, 12 tenses in active voice. So here in the active voice, the 3 tenses, simple, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, we use past participle. So that is active voice. In passive voice, there are 8 tenses. My question is, In which tenses we use past participle? Here only 3 tenses. Active voice 3 tenses. Passive voice, in how many tenses? There are 8. We use past participle. So this is
3.
the heart of the language. Tenses, heart and brain of tenses and voices. Yes, can you repeat the answer?
3.
No.
In all?
In all passive voice, passive tenses, right? In all 8. Right? In all 8. So sorry, not 8. 4. Simple, continuous, perfect. Yeah, 9, not 8, right? 12, 12 minus 4, 8. Sorry, yeah, 8, sorry. In all 8 tenses, in passive voice, we use past participle. Okay? So passive voice, all tenses. Active voice, the 3 perfect tenses, we use past participle. Right? Active voice, only the perfect tenses. See, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. Passive voice, all 8 tenses we use for past participle. Right, now that is precise answers. Okay, precisely I explained you. Right, so now you have to tell me very precisely, when do we use past form? Think about it. Take at least 1 minute, then give me the answer. When, if there are multiple points, you have to tell me, okay, this is the first scenario, this is the second scenario, and so on. Or if it is just one scenario, you have to tell this is the only place we are using past form. Right, now you can give me the answer. But first think about the answer. So you have to use the word tenses, voices when you are giving me the answer, because otherwise your answers will not be very precise. Anyone? So if you can't give me the answer, that is, I'm not blaming you, I'm blaming your teachers, right? Because they are the one who are getting all the salaries. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, Monday, sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes every 5 days you have English. And when I ask, when do you use past form? And no one answers. So that is tragedy. That's a tragedy. So it's very simple. We use past form only in one particular tense in active voice. We don't use past form in passive voice at all. Just one tense in passive active voice we use the past form. What is that tense? Simple past tense. That is the only place we use past form. Active voice, right? Active voice, simple past tense. That's it. So that is the only place. I ate. I told you. Simple past tense. Told you. I saw you last Monday. Right? I saw you. See, saw, seen. Last month. So that is only in simple past tense, active voice, we use the past form. And there are 2 places where I use past participle. Active voice, the 3 perfect tenses. Passive voice, all tenses. Okay. So then simple form. So I like to use the word simple form here. When do we use simple form? Can anyone tell me? So then your confidence must be sky high. You don't care. Right? You don't worry about it because when you know something, you don't have to worry. Of course, if you don't know, you have to worry. Obviously. When do we use simple format? Simple form like eat, go, play.
When we talk about present action verbs and when we use modal verbs.
Present. For example, go. Okay. So you can use it for, you have to tell me which tense rather than just present. So there are, someone tell me, what are the 12 tenses? Let's get back to that and come back. What are the 12 tenses in English? One by one.
Simple.
Okay, first let's
Simple.
categorize it into present. Okay, past, present, future. Okay, but these are not the tenses, these are category. Now I can put it into the tenses. Okay, tell me what are the tenses in present?
Simple present tense.
Okay, simple present. Next one,
Present continuous tense.
present continuous,
Present perfect.
present perfect,
Present perfect continuous.
present perfect continuous. Right, so past,
Simple past.
simple past,
Past continuous. Past perfect. Past perfect continuous.
future,
Simple future. Future continuous. Future perfect. Future perfect continuous.
right. Right, so now you have to tell me, now exactly I told you the past form is used only in simple past active voice, right? And past participle is used in these situations where past perfect, present perfect, right? Present perfect, right? Then past perfect and future perfect, active voice. And in passive voice, all, because in the passive voice you don't have perfect continuous tenses. That is why you have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. Yes. So that is why you have only 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, 9. Out of these 9s, everywhere you use in passive voice, you use that is why all tenses passive voice. Okay, right. So now you have to tell me the simple form is used in which tenses here?
Simple present tense.
Simple present, we use the simple form. Anything anywhere else? So there is this one, simple present, we use the simple form or the base form. Anywhere else, that means I go. Simple present. Do we use it anywhere else?
No.
No? Sure?
I can go. When we use modal verbs, we can use.
Yeah, forget about the modal verbs. I mean, in any tenses, do we use the simple form other than simple present?
In simple future, we use.
So that you have to tell. I will go. It is not I will went or I will go on. So there are two places we use it. Now you should have told me that with a lot of confidence at the very first instance when I asked that question. So you should have told me we use simple form in active voice, simple present tense, active voice, simple future tense. So that is what I am looking for. I was looking for. Unfortunately, it took a lot of time to get the answers. කටට අත දාලා බලහත්කාරයෙන් උත්තරේ ගත්තේ. Right? බලහත්කාරයෙන් ගත්තේ. It never came naturally. Right? So what are the two places we use simple form? Active voice, simple present tense, simple future tense. So that is the usage number 1. Right? Usage number 1. We never use simple form in passive voice, because in passive voice we only use a past participle. Right? Only use past participle. Therefore, there's nothing called simple form use in passive voice. In active voice, we use it in only 2 places: simple plus present, simple future. That is the usage number 1. That is the usage number 1. So there's usage number 2. The second usage of simple form is, if you want to formulate any other words like ing, we always use simple form. Right? It is going. It is never wenting or going. Right? It is eating. It is never eating or eating. So therefore, if you want to create the ing form, we always go use the base form. So therefore, in present continuous, I am going, I am eating. Past continuous, I was going, I was eating. Future continuous also, I will be doing. But so therefore, if you want to create the ing form, we always use the simple form to create the ing form. So that is another use, because we use the simple form to create the ing form. It doesn't matter whether you are using it for past continuous or future continuous or present continuous. Okay. And also we use the simple form to create the 2 verbs, right? To go, it's no, right? To go, to do, right? To read, we never say to done, right? We don't say to go, to did. Of course, if you want, you can make it to be done. That is different thing. That is after be. But after to, we always use the simple form. So those are some usages of simple form, right? Right. So again, I'm telling you, simple present, future present, sorry, simple present and simple future. Active voice, we use simple form. Then to make ing, we use the simple form. And to use with to, we use the simple form. Okay. Right. So now you know when to use simple form, when to use past form, just one usage. Active voice, simple past tense. I went, that's all. Right? I went, he went. There's no other place we use that. Then, of course, the past participle, 2 usages. Passive voice, all tenses. Active voice, the 3 perfect tenses. Try to express it in a very simple, precise manner. So that is a very important skill that you must build. Right? You must build. Right. So now you know the 3 usages, or the usages of the 3 forms: the simple form, past form, and the past participle form. Now let's see how to create or how to formulate these 3 forms. How to get the past form, how to get the past participle form from the simple form. So then we are done with verbs. Okay, so you have to tell me, how do you get the 3 forms? Say simple form, a past form, past participle form. What is the general rule? What is the general rule? In general, how do
By
you...
suffix.
Sorry?
By suffixing ed.
For past. Past participle?
Yeah.
Same or something else?
Same.
Same.
It's same.
Yeah. Can you give me 3 examples for this?
Cook, cooked, cooked.
Cook, cooked, cooked. Right. I need one more. Anyone? Because this is general rule. In general, this is what we do.
Plate, plate, plate.
Play, plate, plate. Right. I need one more for this category.
Wish, wished.
Wish, W-I-S-H.
Yeah.
Wish, wished. Okay, correct. Right, so that is, so we call them regular verbs. So regular verbs, we suffix ed to form past and past participle. So then there are some verbs which does not follow this rule. We call them irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Can you give me 2 examples for irregular verbs? Mean the simple form, past form, and past participle form.
Go, went, gone.
Go, went, gone. I need just one more example.
Be,
Forget
be
about the be
was,
because be is a special word. It's a special word. I need the general word. General word. Sorry?
begin, began.
Right. Begin, began, began. Right. So that those are called irregular because I can't say exactly how you are getting. I can't give you rule and say how the go become went, how the went become gone. Right? Begin began. Why is became began and then it became begun. So that is why we call the irregular verbs. But these are regular because we just suffix ed. And in this irregular also there are some patterns because studying is all about identifying patterns. When you see patterns, you are getting intelligent. Right? So the more patterns you see, the more you are intelligent. So that is why in IQ test, now have you ever faced IQ test? In IQ test, what you get? Sometimes they will give you few pictures and tell you which one is not relevant. Or they will give you 4 pictures and ask you what is the 5th one. Or they give you set of numbers and ask you which number is the next number. So what they are checking, can you see the patterns? Right? IQ, intelligent means you can see patterns. Now, so that is why we are breaking this, right? So see the patterns, right? So regular verbs, irregular verbs. In these irregular verbs also there are patterns. So if you can see the patterns, your confidence is high. Okay, so these are the few patterns. Of course, they are irregular, but there are some categories. For example, there are irregular verbs which take XXX. That means same verb is in all 3 formats. Can you give me few examples?
Cut, cut, cut.
Yeah, cut, cut, cut. One more.
Set,
Set, set, set.
set.
One more.
Cost, cost, cost.
Cost, cost, cost. Correct.
Put, put,
Put. Yes. So that is XXX type of irregular verbs. Can you think of a different one? Like XY, X or XXY, right? Use it. First tell me the pattern, then give me the example. This is the pattern XXX, and these are some examples. Now you have to use XY, Z, and things like that. Okay. What is your pattern? What is your example? So I gave you XXX. Okay. Your pattern?
X, Y, X.
Okay. X,
Come,
Y,
came,
X.
come.
Come,
Came, come.
come, came, come. Correct. Can you give me one more example? Anyone?
Run.
Run.
Ran.
Yeah, run, ran, run. Any other? That means same category, X, Y, X. Become, became, become. Right, similar to come. Right, so now you have to come up with a different pattern and example. Now, so far we have XXX, sorry, XX, XYX. Third one.
X, Y, Y.
Give me example.
Read, read, read.
Yes, read, read. Same spelling, but different pronunciation. Read, read. Another one?
Catch, coach, coach.
Catch, caught, caught. Caught. Right? Yeah. So any other pattern other than this? Now we have covered x, y, x, 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 y, x, x, y, y. So if you can find another pattern in that irregular, so that means you are intelligent. You can see patterns.
Something that completely different.
So that means in this
X.
format, x,
X, Y, Z.
x, y, z. Can you give me example?
Eat, ate,
Sing,
eaten.
sang.
Eat, ate, eaten. Right. What is the other one? Sing, sang, sung. Yes. Sing, sang, sung. One more.
Right.
Do, did, done.
Yeah. Do, did, done. Write, wrote, written. Yes. Right. Any other patterns other than this? Yes. X, Y, Z. Correct. Now we have x, 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 y, x, x, y, y, x, y, z. Do you have something called x, x, y? Yes or no? Do we have something called x, x, y? Yes or
No.
no? Or you are not very
No.
sure? Huh? Because that is the only thing missing here, right? Because we have the x, 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 y, x, x, y, y, x, y, z. There's nothing like this, okay? No. I think we have covered everything. Right? We have covered everything. Right. Any other grammar rule? Because these are grammar rules, right? So we have x, y, y. At least say forget about the grammar rules. These are some classifications of how to formulate the past form and the past participle. And now you know when the usages of the simple form, the usages of the past form, the usages of the past participle form. Okay. So anything else that you are interested about verbs? Any other grammar rule? So if someone asks what are the grammar rules in verbs, you have to say there are 3 forms of verb. Then this is where we use simple form of a verb. This is where we use past form of a verb. This is where we use past participle form of a verb. So those are the grammar rules. Okay. And then this is how you create the 3 forms. We have the regular verbs, then irregular verbs. We have xxx, xyy, xyx, xyz, right? And are there any other grammar rules related to verbs? Because we want to finish it. Finish it. Finish karan nikan bad. So we have to make sure that yes, we have covered everything. We have covered everything that is widely used.
So if it is the subject is a singular, we add s with the verb, and if it is a plural, when we use simple present only.
Yes, so that is what I was looking for. The very last part is super critical. In simple present, right? Simple present, singular, we suffix what to the verb?
S.
Give me example.
She reads.
She reads. Give me another example.
He sings.
He sings. Okay. So can you make it a little bit more perfect? Still, this is very good, but still this is not perfect. I can give you an example which violate this your definition. Because what you have told me so far is in simple present, singular, I hope you mean active voice. Okay. Active voice. Because in passive voice, we don't do that. Still, this is not correct. Correct in the sense almost there, but still your answer is not perfect. Because I can give you an example which satisfy the definition, but there you don't do this S at suffixing S. I can give you a simple present, singular, active voice sentence where we don't suffix S to the verb. For example, you. You is singular. I can take singular. Simple present, singular. But we say you read. Here I mean you means one person in front of me. And also, we don't use I read. We just say I read. We don't say I reads. But this is simple present, singular. So therefore, you have to refine it. So what do you want to add this? Simple
Third
person,
person.
singular, third person. Right? Third person. So simple person, singular, third person, active voice, you suffix S to the verb. So that is another very important rule, because that is something you have to do. Right? So that is why we say she reads, he sings. Again, only for simple person. We don't do it for simple past, simple future. No. She will read. It's not she will reads. No, she will read. She sang, not she shangs. This is only for simple person, singular, third person, active voice. Right. So now we are done with verbs. If you know any other grammar rule related to verbs, let me know. I can add it to the your note and we can discuss it. Right. So now we are done with how many topics? Nouns, verbs. Okay. Nouns, verbs. So our next topic is where is our topics? Right, tenses. Now we are gradually finishing. Tenses. I told you we can do it in 3 days or maximum 4 days. You can see I'm not telling you lies. Okay. Right. Now we are into the tenses. Now we have to cover these things. So it will take another 2 or 3 days. Okay. Tenses.
So what
Sorry?
about the helping verbs?
Yeah, helping verbs are these auxiliary verbs. Still, we are not into that. Okay, so we are going to take it separately. Okay, so your point is, if you are talking verbs, why don't we talk about helping verbs? Yes, it's a good point, but we are going to take it separately after discussing tenses and voices. Okay, right? Don't worry, we are going to take it. Right. So let's first look at the tenses. Okay, tenses. Right, tenses. What is mean by tense? So that is how you start it, right? What is mean by tense? Then what are the categories of tenses? What are the usages of tenses? What are the grammar rules? So we are into the same mood now. This is what is mean by studying. Because සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ අධ්‍යයනය කරනවා. ඔකට මෝඩ මිනිස්සු කියන්නේ පාඩම් කරනවා. නේද? සමහර විභාගේ ළඟ ලාගෙන මම පාඩම් කරනවා. පාඩම් කරන පොඩි ළමයි. ගුරුවරයා පාඩම් උගන්වනවා පොඩි එකා පාඩම ඉගෙන ගන්නවා එකේ පන්තියේ දෙකේ පන්තියේ. But when it comes to higher education or maybe O level, A level, you don't do පාඩම්. Right? You study. අධ්‍යයනය කරනවා. So that is, you categorize it. You are the one who is doing it. Right? You are the one who is actively doing it. The thinking, understanding. Okay? Right. So you have to study tenses, not පාඩම් tenses. Tenses පාඩම් කරන්නේ නැහැ, tenses study කරන්න ඕන, අධ්‍යයනය කරන්න ඕන. Right. So what is a tense? How can you explain tense or tenses to someone else? Tenses to someone else. So don't think very complicated things. Just try to give the simplest possible answer in the world. So the best answer is the simplest one, not the most complicated one. The stupidest answer is the stupid. Your stupidity is displayed when your answer is complicated. Because if you can explain it in simple ways, why do you want to explain it in complex ways? So therefore, try to give me the simplest possible answer. What is a tense? Or what is mean by tenses in a English language or any language?
Different time.
Yes, that's it. So So you don't have to explain anything else. So tenses are something to do with the time, because we do actions in the past, something related to past, something related to future, something related to the present. So therefore tenses are something that we want to convey, we want to express which time this particular action belongs to, right? So that's it. You don't have to tell anything else, because otherwise you're making it complicated, right? So in English, there are 3 categories of tenses. Anyway, it's not English. In any, as humans, we can feel about the present. We can see the things in the present, things in the past, things in the future. Future means from this point onwards, right? Tomorrow, tonight, next year, etc. So those are not the tenses. Those are just the category, right, of how you feel about the time, right? For example, this is your present, right? And this is your past, this is your future, right? But when it comes to English, I told you, it's a well-organized language, highly logical language. For example, if someone asks what are the tenses in Sinhala language, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what are the tenses in Sinhala. But I can precisely tell you, remember I discussed about the complexity of the English language, or rather the simplicity of English language. I told you that if a, say, Chinese person or Japanese person come to Sri Lanka, if I get 2 jobs, teach him English, teach him Sinhala, I'm more than happy to accept teaching that person English, because I don't know what are the tenses in Sinhala. So then how can I teach him Sinhala? Honestly, I don't know. Right? But in English, I know exactly what are the tenses. Okay, so in English, what are the tenses? We already mentioned it. So let's write it again. Past, present, future. So that is not, those are not tenses. These are the tenses. Let's start with present, because that is the most important for us. Simple present, simple present, present continuous, present perfect, present perfect continuous. And in the past, simple past, past continuous, past perfect, past perfect continuous. Future, simple future. Now tomorrow morning, you have to do this. Take a piece of paper and you have to write it by yourself. Okay? It's a must if you want to build your confidence, because you want to start something, finish it. Right? You must not teach English, learn English forever. So you start it, finish it, and then you say, no, okay, I'm an English user. I'm using it for my degree. I'm using it for my studies. I'm using it for my writing. Right? So don't say that I'm still learning. No. 12 years is more than enough. At simple future, future continuous, future perfect, future perfect continuous. Then you can see there's a very nice pattern. So that is why I told you that English is very systematic language. Right? So there are 12 tenses, 4 each, 4 into 3, 12. Okay. So then you must be able to, when you take a sentence, you must be able to put it into all 12 tenses. That is the next competence you must have. Given a sentence, can I put it into all 12 formats? Right? If you can put one sentence into all 12 formats, you can put any sentence into all 12 formats. Okay. Right. So therefore, I will take one example. So this is my simple present sentence. Nimal. Okay, let's make it simple one. Ravi, because it's shorter. Right. Ravi sings a song. Right? Sings because this is third person. Remember Ravi, Kamal, just like he, she. Simple present tense, active voice, you have to suffix s. Ravi sings a song. Or Ravi sings the song. So it's a definite thing. Okay. So you and I know what is this he's singing now. Okay. Okay. Ravi sings the song because we have already mentioned about it. Assume we'll be discussing about the later under articles. Okay. Ravi sings the song. Right. So now you have to put it into past continuous. Present continuous, present perfect continuous. Okay, right. So someone tell me, okay, take 5 minutes, take a piece of paper, put it into all 12 tenses, only active voice, right? Do it. Just keep your answer and see whether you are okay with that, because you have to verify. You have to check whether, remember the perfect situation is you know it and you know that you know it. How do you know that you know it? You test yourself. So when you know that you know it, that is where your confidence is high. Maybe you know it, but you have never double checked whether you know it. So that is an unfortunate scenario. Right. So therefore, take a piece of paper, write down, convert this sentence into all 12. So my original sentence is Ravi sings the song. Right. I will give you 2 minutes because 2 minutes is more than enough. Okay, now let's see. Okay, right. So you have to tell me, Ravi sings the song. What is the present continuous? Anyone? Ravi sings the song, present continuous.
Ravi
Ravi
is singing.
is
Yes, one of you.
Ravi is singing the song.
Ravi is singing the song. Correct. Right. Present perfect.
Ravi has sung the song.
Ravi has sung the song. Remember the past participle, because this is a perfect tense, active voice. Ravi has sung the song. So you must be 100% sure about it, right? Present perfect continuous.
Ravi has been singing.
Ravi has been singing the song, correct. And so let's move on to the simple past. Simple past. Anyone?
Ravi sang the song.
Ravi sang. That is the only place we use the past form. Ravi sang the song. Correct. Past continuous.
Ravi was
Ravi was
singing.
singing the song. Correct. Was singing the song. Past perfect.
Ravi
Ravi.
had.
Ravi.
Ravi had.
Yes, what is the next thing?
Sung the song.
Sung the song. Because perfect tenses, we always go for past participle. Ravi had sung the song. Past perfect continuous.
Ravi
Ravi
had
had
been
Ravi had been
singing the song.
singing the song. So you must have no worries about it, no doubts about it. Right. Simple future.
Ravi will sing the song.
Ravi will sing the song. Future continuous.
Ravi will
Ravi-
be singing the song.
Ravi will be singing the song. Future perfect.
Ravi will
Ravi-
have
Ravi
sung
will
the
have
song.
sung the
Sung
song.
the song.
Sung because perfect. Future perfect continuous.
Ravi will have been singing the song.
Will have been singing the song. So you must have any doubt about that. Singing, right? You must have no doubt about that. Sorry. Ravi will have been singing the song. So that is how you put it, right? So I took sing because you can't guess it, right? Because there are three things: sing, sang, sung. If it is cooked, sometimes you make a mistake, still it works. But here you can't play with that, right? So you must know exactly when to use sing, when to use sang, when to use sung. So the sung is used in only three places. That is past participle, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. And simple form is used two places. Simple present, of course, this one we suffix x because of the other rule, and simple future. The past form is used only one place, that is simple past. Okay. Then, of course, the ing form is always used in the simple form. Singing. There's nothing called sanging or sunging. Okay. So, right. So that is positive. Every sentence has 4 formats. What are those 4 formats? Other than the tenses. So, of course, every sentence you can put it into 12 tenses. But every sentence has 4 formats. What are those 4 formats? What are those 4 formats? This is one of the formats. Positive. What are the other formats? This is study. You look at it in different ways. Positive format, then
Negative.
negative format, then
WH.
positive question,
Negative question.
negative question. Right. So now these are all positive. Now the next thing is you must check whether can I put each of these, that means you have 12. Each of these sentence into negative, each of these sentence into positive question, each of these sentence into negative question. Okay, so right. So let's start with the first one. That is a positive. Ravi, let's start with person. Ravi sings the song. Negative.
Ravi doesn't sing the song.
Yeah, Ravi does not sing the song. There we have does, therefore it is sing. Okay, Ravi does not sing the song. Positive question.
Does Ravi sing the song?
Does Ravi sing the song? Again, SC is not needed because does have that. Negative question.
Doesn't Ravi sing the song?
Doesn't Ravi sing the song? Correct. So those are the 4 formats. Now let's put it in the, take in the present continuous. Positive. Ravi is singing the song. Negative.
Ravi isn't singing the song.
Yeah, Ravi is not singing the song. Positive question.
Is Ravi singing the song?
Negative
The
question.
song.
Isn't Ravi?
Isn't Ravi singing the song? Correct. Past, sorry, present perfect. Positive. Ravi has sung the song. Negative.
Ravi has not sung the song.
Ravi has not sung the song. Positive question.
Has Ravi
Has.
sung the song?
Has Ravi sung the song? Negative question.
Hasn't Ravi sung the song?
Hasn't Ravi sung the song? Last one. Present perfect continuous. Positive is Ravi has been singing the song. Negative.
Ravi has not been singing the song.
Ravi has not been singing the song, or Ravi hasn't been singing the song. Positive question.
Has Ravi been singing the song?
Has Ravi been singing the song? Negative question.
Hasn't Ravi
Hasn't
been
Ravi
singing the
been
song?
singing the song? That's it. So then past. Simple past. Ravi sang the song. Negative.
Ravi didn't sing the song.
Ravi did not sing the song because did has that past nature. Therefore, you have to go for sing again. Ravi sang the song. Ravi did not sing the song. Positive question.
Did Ravi sing the song?
Did Ravi sing the song? Negative question.
Didn't Ravi sing the song?
Didn't Ravi sing the song? Right? Similarly, past continuous. Ravi was singing the song. Ravi was not singing the song. Was Ravi singing the song? Wasn't Ravi singing the song? Right? Past perfect. Ravi had sung the song. Ravi had not sung the song. Had Ravi sung the song? Hadn't Ravi sung the song? Past perfect continuous. Ravi had been singing the song. Ravi had not been singing the song. Had Ravi been singing the song? Hadn't Ravi been singing the song? Make a maha amaru දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. Right? Take a piece of paper, write down. Okay. Right. So finally, future. So you have to do this. Simple future. The positive. Ravi will sing the song. Negative.
Ravi won't sing the song.
Okay. Don't because just for our clarification, don't combine it. Ravi will not sing the song. Okay. Right. So positive question.
Will Ravi sing the song?
Will Ravi sing the song? Okay. Okay. The negative question.
Will not Ravi sing the song?
Okay, will not Ravi sing the song, or if you combine it, won't Ravi sing the song? Right, so similarly, Ravi will be singing the song, Ravi will not be singing the song, will Ravi be singing the song, won't Ravi be singing the song? Future perfect, Ravi will have sung the song, Ravi will not have sung, or Ravi won't have sung the song. Will Ravi sung the song? Sorry, will Ravi have sung the song? Won't Ravi have sung the song? So future perfect continuous, that is the hardest one. I will tell you the positive, you have to tell me the negative. Ravi will have been singing the song. Negative.
Ravi won't have been singing the song.
Yeah, it is not is for will, not for have. Ravi won't have been singing the song. Positive question.
Will Ravi has been singing the song?
No, not has been. Always in the future, it is have. Or it is have. So that is another rule. Right? In the future tenses, You don't care singular plural. It is always have. There's nothing called will has. You will never ever say will has for anything. No, it's always will have. So Ravi will have been singing the song. Ravi won't have been singing the song. Will Ravi have been singing the song? Won't Ravi have been singing the song? So those are the. Now you have 12 tenses, 4 formats. So therefore 12 into 4, 48 sentences. So now you must take one sentence and not try to put it into the 48 formats. But take something like sing, right? Sing, sang, sung. Eat, ate, eaten. Drink, drank, drunk. Right? He drinks water. So try to put it into all 48. Okay. Right. So we stop at this point because now we are halfway in the tenses. So the next day when we are doing English, we will be discussing what are the usages of each and every tense. So what are the usages of simple future tense? What are the usages of future continuous? And so on. Then tenses are done. So then we will move on to voices, then auxiliary verbs and so on. So it will take another 3 days, right? Or 2 or 3 days to finish the grammar part. Then we will be going through your syllabus, very rush through another 1 day. Then we'll do few past paper or the quizzes. So then your English subject is over. Okay, right. So then we are gradually starting the math subject also, because first I want to get into a little bit more into the English before starting maths. And maths, then we will be more concentrating on maths and ICT. Okay, right. So we stop at this point. And those who want to do the BIT this year itself, make sure you start working on your registration. So once you submit, if they don't reply to you, giving you the VLE access, their virtual learning environment access, that once you get the username and password of their virtual learning environment, so that is something like this. So if you go to the FIT site, just like our Google Classroom, they also have a virtual learning environment, right? Learning VLE. So they will, once you register, they are supposed to give you the username and password to log in. If you can log into the system after the registration, that means your registration is confirmed. So make sure you do that in next few weeks, okay? So that you are ready to, because there you have some more, that is where actually they inform you about the exams and other things. So you will get those things only when you can get your confirmation of your registration, okay? So then you have the study materials also, the topic wise study materials in the university VLE as well, right? So all those things you get access once you get the registration, okay? Right. So we stop at this point. And if you have anything to clarify or anything clarify about the registration or anything, post it to the WhatsApp group. If it is a common question, if it is a very specific question, put that as a message to me. I will reply also. Okay. Right. We stop at this point. Thank you.